What is going on, YouTube and y'all squad? This is your boy Yakutis. This is your review for Belle Collector Season 3, Episode 1. Really quickly. Um, First off, I'm pretty sure, well, y'all didn't hear me last week, but I'm feeling so much better. So y'all haven't even gotten the Atlanta reviews. I'm actually about to go ahead and watch last week's and this week's episode and get that to you shortly after. But yeah, like last Monday, it was just crazy. Woke up like just thirsty for no reason. Um, in addition to that, like I felt very fatigued. Like I had, weight on my body just holding me down. And then there were and I was lightheaded. There was one point I got up and I started seeing bright specks popping before my face, and I knew exactly what that was because I've passed out at least twice, so I had to hurry up and sit my butt down. But it was just a whole lot. But I'm feeling much better, and I just took the rest of the week off just so kind of get myself together. But that is not why we're here. I just want to let you know where the Atlanta reviews are. They're coming, and why I've been MIA for a week. But we're here for the Bells, so let's talk about the Bells. So we start off with Latrice. She just closed on a 4K square foot commercial building. One of Cliff's children is back and living on the estate. So I don't believe that child is living with them, but living on the estate. So pretty much they're babysitters right now. And having the kids there, is kind of making her rethink things. I don't believe that's the case, but I'm going to just go with it. Latrice's employee and friend Josh is staying with them because there's a water crisis in Jackson, which I'm privy to, mostly due to the fact that I do have family that still lives in Starkville, Mississippi, so I'm kind of tuned in with that. And also, one of my fellow panel members, is also in the SIP, so But she's not affected because she's on the outskirts, so looking out for her friend / employee, which is cool. And Latrice mentions, having to, cook for Cliff, and Josh challenges the gender roles and societal norms and is asked, okay, well, why the woman gotta feed the man? When was the last time you cooked? Right off rip, okay. I was just like, oh my lord, wait a minute. You feel me? I'm just like, obviously, this ain't coming out of left field. You're her friend, which means that y'all been talking and you're taking y'all private conversations and you are using that against her husband. You feel me? And it's one thing if you just showing, like, you just there, you talking your ish. Okay, well, I'm gonna leave. It's another thing to be staying there because it's like you being mad and inappropriate and you are overstepping your bounds, bruh. And it's one of those things where I get it, but it's just like, whoo, you doing too much. And he's looking out for his friend, which is understandable. But one of the things that you got to remember as a friend, you can't do too much. And look, just because your friend or family confides in you about somebody they're messing with and whatnot, if they decide to go back to that person, now you looking real foolish and whatnot. So your best thing is to be there, give them the best advice you can, but don't jump on that train because more often than not, if they decide to stick it out with that person, ultimatums end up happening, and then it turns into, okay, well, either you're gonna be in this relationship or you want to be with your friend over there or whatever. So, whew, a little rough there. But I mean, I do agree with the whole societal norms thing, especially if they're both working and whatnot. It's just like, dude, it is what it is. Like, you can fix yourself a sandwich, all right? But well, okay, he an older cat. He better not be no damn Latrice. He better not be no boomer. He better not be over there with no damn boomer. Anyway, Cliff feels that Josh is causing trouble in their marriage. Josh says there's already problems there. I just stir it up. Now, sir, that I'm happy that you're aware. But the fact that you literally said, now we all can see it's problems there. It's problems in any relationship, no matter how pristine there are issues there. But you just said you like to stir it. Bruh, that ain't good. Cause now when you up and leave, guess what? She is there to pick up those pieces. Like, you not being a friend for real, if you are intentionally stirring a mess just for the hell of it. Like, that ain't cool. And Josh, I'm sorry, Cliff wants Josh gone. and then tells him to read the Bible. Now, when he said that, I'm just sitting there like, I have a feeling I know what that comment was, and I'm hoping that I'm wrong. But again, Cliff needs to get a clue amongst some other things. But okay, and we're gonna talk about Cliff more at the end of this review because y'all know I got some things to say. Latrice has pretty much chosen to put her man, her family, and everything above herself because she's okay. I'm sorry, no, I jumped ahead. She's sleeping in a separate room from her husband because they're not communicating. I don't believe that's all of it. That might be part of it. Josh feels that Cliff is controlling. We see it. And Latrice is putting family and all that stuff above herself. And, she's saying that she's good. And some part of that is, pretty much putting on this facade for everybody else. But there are people, and hell, I happen to be one of them, where I will put others before me because for the majority of my life, I've been self-sufficient. So I know, so pretty much I give myself the crumbs and I give everybody the meal that is me, and I'm okay with the crumbs, and that's not healthy, and I even know that you can't pour into a glass when yours is empty, but I've been there and saying to myself, you know what, you're strong, you can deal with it, and da-da-da, and it's one of those where though you may be strong, that is self-sabotaging and it's not healthy, it's very toxic. So I'm going to need for her to get that under control. And he says to her, you don't look happy. And she's not. So now we get Letitia. Let me let y'all know this. I can do the Cliff and Latrice thing. Now the whole baby thing, that's a whole nother topic for another review when we get to it. Because I have my feelings on that. But I can deal with what they have going on. Because it's like, okay, we see this thing evolving. Now, Letitia and Glenn, I ain't finna be here too much longer for this. I'm gonna just keep it a buck with you. But I'm gonna run through this. So, her business is on the ride. Personal life, not so much. We knew that. She moved back in with Glenn. And he back to the same old, same old. Okay, yeah. And you, nope. Yeah, we not judging. Glenn wants her back. I'm sorry. She meets up with him to pretty much do an exchange. So right now they're splitting their parenting with their child. And, he wants her back. Of course you do. Then he uses the car analogy, which is, your rearview mirror and your side mirrors are small for a reason. They're meant for you to glance back, before. And here's the reality. They're small like that because, especially with the rearview, is you're looking behind you and your, left and right mirrors is before you move to the left or the right, you want to make sure there's nothing there that's going to derail you. But of course, you want to keep your main focus on what's in front of you. We get that, but bruh, you a roadblock to this woman. And see, he's one of those where every time she brings up something, he throws something else out there to not truly change the trajectory of change the trajectory, but not change the conversation because he's a double talker. He doesn't want to stay on task. He want to continue to move the conversation to keep her in a state of confusion. You've been married to this man for how many years? You know your husband. We've been watching this show for how many seasons? Okay, all right. Then this ninja, hold on, wait. Then he asks her, will you be happy if I delete my social media? Now, he's literally trying to give her the bare minimum. And again, I don't even know why she's entertaining the conversation, to be completely honest. And then says he's an 80-20. I said, no, we ain't doing this. We ain't doing this. I'm already tired of Tyler Perry with that bit. We ain't doing all this. Hell no. And then Tisha feels that it was a mistake for her to have relations with him after they shot the reunion. You think? Now, of course, yes, you married this, that, and the third, and hey, you need your needs and whatnot fulfilled. But what that does is that is sending a mixed message to him. But hey, her life, not mine. And then he said that he was mad because she made him wear a condom, like almost like she a bad girl. Shout out to Donna Summers. And they gonna say something. I should have just left $40 on the counter. Now here's the thing. that I don't think Letitia just called. It ain't the fact that he was calling her a lady of the night. It's the fact that he reduced her self-worth to $40. Okay. See, that's why I don't want to say it because it's dudes like that one give dudes like me a bad name, and it's just infuriating. But also, I got dudes like this in my dang old family, and nothing short of toxic. Nevertheless, she is thinking about getting her own place. Again, I'm not gonna give Letitia too much. This, like, I'm really not, like, unless it's something major or it's something that I can expound upon and sit here, because of course the majority of y'all squad happens to be female. If I can take something to give y'all some nuggets of wisdom, I'll do that. But just in general, I don't have much for Letitia and Glenn. I don't. So we get So Gucci. She says she's selling more homes since the reunion. She's added one of her daughters. I believe it's one of JJ's children to her enterprise. JJ has planned a romantic night, sir. Keep your clothes on. I can't speak for nobody else. I ain't trying to see that. I get tired of watching the Housewives shows and then they trying to sit here and do romantical stuff. No, just stop. Just stop. So Gucci is happy because they haven't had, time spent together in a while because she's been busy. Plus, she wants to, spend quality time with the kids. So, just being, spread thin. And she also even said the fact that you looking the way you looking and doing food like this, I know what it is, because when I want something from you, I do the same thing. What you want? And he says, no, I planned the night to show you how life can be without the kids. And also, my mom is considering moving in. Yep, there it is. It was the second one. And she got upset, went in her room and closed the door. Rightfully so. Some of this seems a little put on, but nevertheless, because her whole thing, and it's legit. You can't make a decision without consulting me, and we make this decision together. But JJ has this very archaic, caveman type of mentality of, I'm the man of the house, so I shouldn't have to consult with you on anything. I just let you know. All right. We get Tambra. I ain't got time for this one either, but I'm going to stick it out with it. I'm going to see how far we can get. She is less booked and busy. She is living with Damon. They've only been living together for a few months, but she feels that she needs her own space. Let him tell it. They ain't had relations in like 2 months. Is it him? What's going on? And then at one point he says to her, well, says to her like he wants her pretty much to wake up at 4 in the morning to like cook him breakfast. Like, sir. And again, both of y'all are working. So you want her to disrupt her sleep pattern to get up and make you breakfast. Okay. Yeah. See, ladies, this is what happens when you sit here and you start giving, privileges to mugs that ain't earned the privileges and whatnot. You know what they say, why buy the cow when you can get the milk for free? And then had the nerve to tell them, well, you don't cook at night and all you do is just sit in the chair at work. See, Tamara, you the fool. You the fool. So look, I'm going to keep calling her IKEA until she show me something different. I mean, I was kind of gelling with her at the reunion, but we passed the reunion. But she has submitted a proposal that includes upwards of 10 restaurants. We don't know what the other plans are, but she's trying to make some things happen. Unlike other people, I was here for the shades because it's just like we ain't hearing none of that from Letitia. She's working on her situationship. Willie is a sports analyst, and because it is football season, he's back in New York, which is totally understandable. But with that being said, she has to do it all, and she brought the kids with her. Now, of course, we don't know when this takes place truly and where they're going to school, because I would think it is kind of crazy to just uproot them, because if one parent, if their school is in New York and he's in New York, then he needs to have the kids. Point blank and the period. But again, that ain't my situation. So Gucci stops by, and IKEA tells her she's shocked because she would never think that she would have a friendship with someone who calls themselves so Gucci. But again, that's very elitist. And you have a lot of people that feel like, oh, I would never think that I could have a friendship with somebody that is ... And look, yeah, that just ain't cool. But whatever. Her and she lets us know that her and this new Tamara, they haven't spoken, and she's not at a place yet to where she wants to converse with her. Now, my thing is, but Carlos is gonna make it to where y'all are going to have a conversation. Now, the reality is, if we're truly shooting a reality show, or you're shooting someone's reality, if people ain't talking, they ain't talking. Now, it does become exhausting for the viewers because just like, so it's all of this, but we get no conclusion. But in real life, if you ain't messing with somebody, you ain't messing with somebody. But of course, there's going to be group scenes, and I mean collective scenes where it's all the ladies. So it's going to happen. So we get Letitia Soguchi and Marie, their apartment hunting for Letitia. We found out from Marie that Zuri Marie, that's her brand. Not only are they doing healthcare, but skincare, fashion, and virgin hair. Well, all right. So Gucci thanks Tisha for trusting her and not going behind her back like Latrice and using another agent. Now, this is one of those things where I don't like this, only because, and look, people do this all the time, where they will retell a story and they only tell the salacious pieces or the pieces that make them look good and just not tell everything. And I know a lot of people do that. I'm not one of them. Y'all can ask my friends, they'll tell you. But like, I tell them everything. They be like, yeah, you know you're wrong. And I tell them like, okay, I still said what I said and did what I did. Like, I don't give it, like, I don't really care. Like, there's no reason for me to be, dishonest. Like, I'm going to just tell the story the way that it happened. All of the pieces included. But, of course, two sides to one story. But Marie hearing this is just like, well, I told you she was a snake. Okay. And then Marie asks Tisha if she's holding out. Tisha says, after rebounding, yes, but Marie doesn't believe her. So now, we get two scenes with Latrice. We get one scene with her at the restaurant, and then the closing scene. So she never thought that she would be delivering hair to VIP clients, but here she is. She thought that she would have already been in her new building that she was, supposed to be having with Soguchi, but that fell through. So she has to come back to Goddard's Limps, where she's operating now, but she doesn't have the full space because the landlord leased out the other half, which is understandable because, they can't lose money. So they're only working out that half, but the building that she did acquire is going to require some, tender love and care. So it's going to be some months before moving in, but she does have the plans for it. And, Josh wants to know, is he going to be upstairs, which is where the salon, everything going to be, or the first floor, which is more or less the retail? And she says to him the first floor, and that he needs to figure out if he wants to do makeup or if he wants to do, Goddess Limps. And he says to her, well, I'm the only one here, so it is a lot. It's just me. Now, that is an understandable complaint. But then he said, I call you and you don't answer. And it's one of those to where, I mean, depending on what it is. But look, he might be calling all the time. Again, I don't know the inner workings of her business. And again, I'm not finna sit here and talk too much on somebody's business. But then he says, you have an attitude problem. Now, at this point, it's just like, okay, hold up. Because the whole thing is Josh talking to her as friend? Or are we talking, employee to manager? Because it's just like, okay, you doing a bit merch. And she lets him know, like, no, I'm not. But there is a respect issue or lack thereof on your end when it comes to my house, myself, and my husband. And he catches it, and he pretty much understands that it's more your husband than it is you or anything else. But the way that he does move, he is showing a lack of respect for her and her situation. But obviously, we all know he can't stand Cliff, so whatever. And she needs him, to be in a friend's place. And the reality is, the only reason that he is acting and responding the way that he is because you have allowed him to do this. So you've allowed him to blur the lines. So that's not really on him, Latrice. That's on you. Josh feels that Cliff wants him out of the house so that way no one knows what's going on. I can believe that. And he had also been accused of being a freeloader. And my thing is if you are staying with someone, especially rent free, if obviously you don't have the funds to do anything, then that would be where, if you know how to cook, then be in the kitchen and help out with the, if you can't cook, help with the cleaning, but assist, add something to, just don't be there taking up space, because that can ruin relationships and can cause people to be resentful. You feel me? And he doesn't feel she should be married and wants her to be happy. And obviously this is him talking as a friend, but of course the playback of this is not going to be too favorable. So last minute, Latrice and her friend Amanda decided they wanted to go to a bar for some drinks. And Cliff arrives and he wasn't happy. So it appears that it was a last minute thing and she let him know. And then also, well, hey, the camera's going to be with us. So I'm assuming, I didn't look at her. I didn't go back and look at the outfits. So I'm not sure if this was like the same day of filming or if this was just something that they were choosing to do. And it's very clear that Cliff is insecure, because he feels that this was going to be a taping opportunity for them to bash him. And, he demands that they talk, that she unmics herself. He is upset she didn't tell him she was going out, and also made it clear that she needed his permission. He takes her mic pack off and throws it, because she was telling him, like, don't damage it, because, y'all going to have to pay for that. And then attempts to, like, forcefully grab her by her arm, and she was kind of like, okay, now, don't do that. And then he feels that she's hiding something from him. And, I guess feeling that this filming was supposed to be private. And then we get what is to come. So here's my take on this. He does have a very old school way of thinking. It is very caveman. It's archaic. It is very patriarchal. It's all of that. And it's toxic and disgusting. I'm going to just keep it a bug. There's no other way to explain that. But what this is also giving me is, the fact that you have to get permission to do something and you are a whole human? Nah, I don't like that. And then it seems like he's trying to isolate her. Now, I can understand his apprehensions about Josh, but he doesn't want her around Josh because Josh is going to tell her the real. And let's keep it a buck. Cliff's biggest thing is he has a catch. He knows that Latrice is gorgeous, and not just that, she is a businesswoman, and for what it's worth, self-made. All of that being said, Latrice can leave and bag whoever she wants. So for him at his age, he's not trying to start over again. So he's raising her to his hand and trying to keep that level of control. And with how he was acting and trying to forcefully grab her, I just hope that he is keeping his hands to himself. I'ma just say that. Because even with Josh saying that she wears makeup, I think that was a roundabout way of saying something. But I don't know. I don't want to put something on a person that ain't there. So I'm not saying that he likes to reach out and touch women. I hope not, Cliff. But it's a lot of signs there. And with her going out of her way this season to have a child, it seems like, let me do what I can to make him happy so he's not mad at me. It's giving. No, I'm not going to say it. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. Again, I'm trying to keep this as PG as possible, because it's YouTube. But that's it. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about this. I'm finna go ahead and watch Atlanta, and then I'm gonna try to watch some other people's reviews before I gotta do the panel tonight. But make sure that you all are with us tonight for the Whether You Like It or Not panel, where we will be discussing Real Housewives of Atlanta, and we will be in the suburbs at Really B's house. So y'all gotta act like y'all got some sense. I don't never do what I'm told, but I'm gonna be there. And with that being said, please rate, comment, subscribe, and share. And I will see you all for my housewife reviews and tonight for the panel. All right, y'all. Peace out.